Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Break It Down. Let's talk to Darren, and then continue touring the camp. Ah, there you are, you dashing troublemaker you. Darren flashes you a self-satisfied smile. Our short acquaintance is coming to an end. Very soon, you'll depart on your crusade, where you'll scrape by on horrible rations, struggle vainly to fall asleep amidst snoring soldiers, be rudely awoken by the freezing cold, and have to look upon the dour faces of self-righteous prigs, before you finally perish in the maw of some demon. I have a journey ahead of me too. I've just rented a sailboat in the south. I've also hired an excellent chef, and a host of other entertainments. Well, to each their own, I suppose. Darren pauses, then suddenly adds in a more serious voice. You know, I am genuinely sad to see you go. It sounds like mockery, forgive me. I cannot switch off my venom gland on a whim, you see. But you intrigue me. If only we could have spent a little more time together. But of course, Darren grimaces. Not under these conditions. Let the Crusaders and the demons have at each other. With any luck, they'll take this entire sanctimonious spectacle down with them. I'll be blunt. You don't intrigue me. Not in the way you obviously had in mind. But you are a valuable companion. You could have stayed in my party. Who, me? Where? In this traveling Pardon me. In this army? Darren offers a doubtful smile. You must be joking. Of course I won't stay. Who in his right mind would trade a luxurious and carefree life for this crusade? In any case, I tend to wait until the army departs. I do love a good send-off. Especially when it is I who is staying, and someone else who is heading off to meet a dreary and hopeless end. Sometimes it does one good to ruminate on the unfairness of life. Well then, farewell, Commander. I assume I shall be your most precious memory on this most disgusting and exhausting road to the pointless slaughter of battle. Or if not the most precious memory, then at least the most stirring. Darren smirks before instantly losing all interest in you, or at least he pretends to. I propose a toast, a fate well deserved.
I'm gone.
These are the fighters of the Eagle Watch. I personally chose everyone that's standing here, and I'm ready to vouch for each of them. I've seen so many happy faces today. It's so good.
We do it my way. Follow if you dare.
Straighten up, arms tight to your sides. That's it. 1, 2, 1, 2. What are you looking up at the sky for? You think winged demons are about to fall on us? Hey, a little foreshadowing. Maybe they will. But actually, just like looking at the sky. Sorry, but Clouds. You know, I haven't seen them since I was a kid. I almost forgot what they looked like. And this is one of the dialogues where I think having land be a Sable Company Marine makes a lot of sense.
I'm off.
I do think the Tandem Executioner is probably the most fitting multi-class, but Sable Company Marine is also up there. A well-dressed old dwarf is lecturing a motley company, shaking her ladle at them belligerently. Noticing you, she flings her hands up. Sorry, flings up her hands. I don't know how I misread that. Good afternoon, your Commander Nness. Do you remember us? We're the crew from the next door theater company, the one you saved in Canabris back when you weren't our Commander Nness yet. As you can see, we've come on the campaign with you. We signed up to clean pots and mend the soldiers' clothes. Keeping up a theater is expensive, so we all have to take side jobs. But we don't stop what we're doing. We're going to put on a play about your legendary feats. Of course, the crowd scenes are difficult. We can't find the people to play the hordes of demons, and we decided against using a ritual to summon real demons. Luckily, we have Master Kem. He's invented a way to solve this problem using sound. We caught a pig and some piglets who ran away from a burned out village. The glum and husky half-orc mumble softly. Put the piglets in a box and scare them a little, and the sound they make is just like an approaching demon horde. But the most important question is, of course, choosing the lead actor who will play the great Knight Commander. We had to write Barney over it, break a number of lances, as well as a shovel, a rolling pin, and a set of back scratchers. But we just couldn't decide no matter what. Maybe you can help us. We have two candidates that are most suited to the role. One will have the honor of conveying your heroism upon the stage, Commander. I'm to be played by a gnome. Not a gnome. Two gnomes. Rubbledum and Hierophant are twins. One of them sits on the other's shoulders, puts on a long coat so they can play tall characters. They switch places every so often, so each gets their moment of fame. And that way they each only have to learn half of the script. A Cyclops actor. He's completely tame, believe me. Has a few issues with articulation, but with a powerful physique. We'll make him a nice costume, wash him up, brush his hair. Truth be told, in our show you mainly just make short heroic exclamations at the fateful moment, like onward, or never give up, or my heart burns with courage. A Lambkin can definitely handle the script. So when we first met this group, they said they would go to Lambkin's place, or to find Lambkin to protect him. Lambkin's a Cyclops, which explains how he could protect them. Don't you have any other actors who even vaguely resemble me? We're a small and poorly funded theater. We only have a few actors, but they're also talented, one of a kind. I've chosen the ones that are the best fit for your role. Trust my vision. I have more than a few successful plays under my belt. Alright, I've made my decision. The entire crew looks at you, holding their breath. Now, I've taken both these choices before. I'm going to go with option 3. You're the director. It's your choice. Wonderful. I'm sorry we took you away from all the important things heroes and commanders do. We're off to rehearsal. I mean, first we'll wash some pots, then we're off to a rehearsal. Let's go, you lazy lumps. Don't embarrass old Grandma now. Lambkin is my name. I'm an actor. Hey, brother. You're looking pretty thin. Unless the mess has you losing weight, you've got to eat, or we'll look like a pear in that long coat of ours. I'd rather shovel horse crap than soldier's grub. Crap smells better. Wouldn't be surprised if it tastes better too. Finally, a serious dramatic piece in our hands. A Sunmaster is the most underrated profession. That's what I say.
I do what I must.
This is the supply train. This is our quartermaster, Wilser Garms. I go to him for supplies. Tell Commander. Yes, 3 cheers for the Commander. Now answer my questions. Where are the mail shirts? According to the paperwork, we're supposed to have 50. I personally deposited the money for them in the Army's treasury. And why is there hardtack in the barrels that are supposed to be filled with corned beef? I demand answers. The corned beef's in the cooking pots. Turns out, it was from last year. Needs to be eaten before it spoils. We're saving the hardtack for now. As for the mail shirts, they're on the troops. That's what they're for, aren't they? Not for me to rest my jacksie on, when the lads are heading off to battle soon. Hi, Jernov. A good day. Do you remember me? I'm Jernov. We spoke in the Defender's Heart. So, you're the commander of the Crusade now. Aristotle knows it's hard to imagine someone worthy of taking up the post and the savior of Canabris. May the good gods help you prevail. Who are you? A humble priest of Aristul. I completed my trials and took my holy orders only recently. Now I'm serving my god and the people to the best of my ability. What were you doing in the Defender's Heart? What I was bound to do under my holy orders. I healed the wounded and buoyed up the healthy to fight another day. Have you joined the crusade? Don't take it amiss, but no, I haven't. I have my own task. I am needed in Chili Creek, a tiny hamlet which, due to some oversight, has been left without a priest these many years. I'm about to set sail for there. I'll be making my journey along Old Man Selwyn. I have to go. May Aristul watch over you. I've seen more over the last few days than I have in the rest of my life put together. War and monsters and the Queen. I'll still have plenty of stories to tell my grandchildren. Do you know what the Queen does to people who keep her waiting? I don't. But I know better than to find out. The Queen is expecting you, Knight Commander, so I shall not detain you. We can talk later, after our sovereign departs. Borserk Arms. The burly soldier with an impressive beard greets you with a broad smile. Borserk Arms, the camp quartermaster at your service. How may I be of help? Tell me about yourself. The quartermaster looks away sheepishly. There isn't much to tell, really. I was born in Canabris in a humble family. I got an education, taught myself to read and write. Got drafted into the army, spent 3 years as a shield bearer in the first line. I left after I did my time and joined the Stonemasons Guild. Then moved on to the shipwrights and rose to a crew chief. I sailed to Iwabaria twice and returned with goods. Made some money, built a house, and haven't started a family yet. I think I will after we're done with this war. But a few years ago, something started gnawing at me. I got this feeling like I needed to go home, that there was a storm headed for my native city. When there's trouble in Mendev, there's only one thing to do. You go to the recruiter and sign up for the army. And so I did. At first they wanted to make me an infantry sergeant, but then they decided I'd be a better fit in the supply department. I can take care of army property. I'm pretty handy around a warehouse. Not to mention I know how to manage a band of helpers. So that's how I became a quartermaster. Borsa gives you a shy smile and shrugs, as if this were a wholly unremarkable story typical of any crusader. What are your duties in the camp? A little bit of everything. What's an officer to a soldier? A strict father. So what does this make a quartermaster like myself? Something like their mum, that's what. I make sure the lads have everything they need to defeat the enemy and come back from battle in one piece. Orster starts ticking off his fingers. It means food, firewood, medicine, tents, mended clothes, fixed weapons. The horses have got to be fed and watered. The camp's got to be fortified by the evening and broken up by the morning. I make sure the wages are paid on time and the wagon wheels don't squeak. Then there are reports. Gods, until you asked. I never realized how many duties I actually had. What did the soldiers think of their new commander? They mostly tell tales about your unusual power, but they don't shy away from talking about you as a person too. Soldiers are always like that. Paimade herself descended from heaven. You bet they jabber on about how she grips her sword, how good she looks in her armor. The soldiers believe that gods favor you, and that it wasn't a coincidence you gained your power in the Great Garrison. Who else could something like that happen to, except for the god's favorite? Show me what you have. Alright, so double jeopardy. Whenever the wielder of this +2 Great Club lands a hit against a new target with it for the first time, the next successful attack against the same target deals additional 2d6 damage. That's pretty good. A Blade of Order. Whenever the wielder of this +2 scimitar lands a hit with it on a chaotic evil creature, it applies a -1 penalty to that creature's damage rolls until the end of combat. This penalty stacks up to -5. That's okay. I mean, it applies to most enemies that you fight. But it's not the best effect. A Racking Point. Whenever this +2 Radiant Longspear confirms a critical hit, it pierces the enemy. 1d4 rounds, all subsequent hits against the target deal 1d3 positive energy damage. Black Dragon's Fang, one of the best weapons you could buy here. Whenever this +3 corrosive longsword lands a hit on an enemy, it deals additional 2d6 acid damage to all enemies in a 30-foot area. After this ability has been activated, it can't be activated again for 1d4 rounds. And it's a +3, which there aren't many of in his shop right now. A Ceremonial Falcata. This +2 Falcata grants its wearer a +5 morale bonus on all persuasion checks. Whenever the wielder uses Dazzling Display, all affected enemies suffer 1d8 sonic damage. Huh, it's not bad. You could possibly put this on a bard or a skull and just have them stand in the back line and spam Dazzling Display. A Wide Sweep. Whenever this +2 scythe lands a hit, it deals 2d4 points of slashing damage to all adjacent enemies. Jinx. Whenever this +2 Cold Iron Falchion lands a hit on a creature that is under any hex effect, it deals additional damage equal to the weapon's base damage. A Bug Crusher. Whenever this +1 Bardiche lands a hit on a medium or smaller creature, the target must pass a Fortitude saving throw DC 17 or suffer additional weapon damage. Relentless Assault. While the wielder of this +3 Dwarven War Axe is wielding a second weapon in another hand, whenever they confirm a critical hit with it, they also make an additional attack with the second weapon. A Nimble Edge. This is actually really good for a later companion. A Nimble Edge. Whenever this +1 speed Estoc confirms a critical hit on an enemy, the wielder gets a +2 morale bonus to dexterity. Each attack they make deals additional 1d4 piercing damage for 2d3 rounds. A Quick Punishment. Whenever the wielder of this +1 Cold Iron Sawtooth Saber attacks a new enemy for the first time, the wielder can make an additional attack during a full attack action. Painful Remorse. Whenever the wielder of this +2 spiked heavy shield uses it for a shield bash, it behaves like a vicious weapon, dealing an extra 2d6 points of damage to the opponent and 1d6 points of damage to the wielder. Flowing Scales. This +2 scale mail gives the attacks against its wearer a 10% chance of miss due to concealment. I'm a huge fan of this piece of armor, and I might... No, I'm not going to use Camellia. If I was using Camellia, I would buy this and give it to her. A Rock of Nature. This +2 breastplate grants the wearer a +2 insight bonus to armor class against attacks made with natural weapons. That's pretty good for Act 2. A Dawn of Life. This +3 tower shield weighs twice as much as the usual tower shield and limits its wielder's speed to 20 feet. Whenever the wielder receives a critical hit, they are healed for the amount of HP equal to the number of their hit dice. That's pretty good, and it's a +3. We've seen Rings of Protection before. Lesser Gloves of Dueling. These gloves grant the wearer a +1 bonus to CMD against disarm attempts. If the wearer has a weapon training ability and is wielding a weapon it gives a bonus to, that bonus increases by +1. Bracers of Rough Landing. These bracers grant the wearer a +2 competence bonus to armor class, attack, and damage rolls against flying enemies. That'll come in handy later. Amulet of Jousting. Whenever the wearer of this amulet declares a Knight's Challenge, he gains a +3 damage bonus against a challenged enemy. So that's specific to Cavaliers. Amulet of Mighty Fists. This amulet grants its wearer a +1 enhancement bonus on attack and damage rolls with unarmed attacks and natural weapons. And Agile Fists. If the wearer has the weapon Finesse Feat, this amulet allows her to apply her dexterity modifier in place of her strength modifier to damage rolls with all unarmed and natural weapon attacks. I don't think Olbrich has... Let's grab this instead. Alright, the bearded quartermaster gives you a friendly nod. What can I do for you? Your supply would do any wine shop proud. Does the crusade really need this much alcohol? Whistler smiles shyly. Don't think I'm trying to encourage drunkenness among our crusaders. It's all in good fun, a way to blow off some steam. When soldiers get gathered by the fire and raise a cup to honor both the living and the dead, it reminds them that life goes on. But those who drink to excess or to the detriment of their duties won't get a drop from me. There's no sight more depressing than a drunkard. I have to go. Let's continue our tour. These are the Knights of Canabris. All that's left of the orders that were billeted in the city. If I couldn't say billeted. We outfitted this tent to be used as our chapel. Even the less pious crusaders will come here to say their prayers when the final battle is upon us. I've seen it happen in my previous campaigns. Altar of Torag, the father of creation, the dwarven god of craft and kin. Altar of Serenray, the healing light, the goddess of the sun, healing and redemption. Altar of Desna, the great dreamer, the goddess of freedom, travel, luck, and dreams. Altar of Aristal, old Deadeye, the god of hunting, farming, and the quiet pastoral life. This place has been sanctified and can protect the area around it from the corruption of the abyss. Altar of Iomedae, light of the sword, the goddess of justice and valor, and the patron of the crusades.
I'm gone.
This is the field hospital. Alas, the clerics of Canabris suffered especially heavy losses, so we're in desperate need of healers. We're a few, but the gods are with us. The prayers of good people around the world are with us. In Search of Joy, Confessions of a Heretic. I take a deep breath and stand still. I long to absorb every moment of joy, inhale the evaporation of someone else's soul from their thickening blood. The border between reality and dream fades. It seems that everyone beyond the wall can hear the throbbing in my head, but it's only my fantasy. A ringing silence fills the room. The fifth sacrifice has been made. My mistress, the most beautiful of goddesses, will be happy. I'll take care of everything. Fragrant flowers cut the climax of their beauty, and now a part of the masterpiece, which is worthy of Shaylin herself. So, I think I may have read this already in this playthrough. I don't remember. Again, I've read everything in a previous playthrough, so I may just be forgetting. So what if the narrow-minded priest rejected me and my gift? I serve the never-fading rose herself, not the worms that bite into her stem and suck at her life-giving juices. It won't be long now before I finish my job. I've already found the material. Her eyes are gray, and her hair is dark blonde. She's fading into the dirt. I will rewrite her destiny. A beautiful day, isn't it? Yado. A dear lady, I've been standing here for a long time. Would you like to help? Who, me? No, I definitely would not. A teacher. What's this word? Let me see. Orthopraxy. Means things should be done right, not slapdash. A saddle man with a fuzzy gray beard greets you with a deep bow. Well met, Commander. You've caused quite the stir. Everyone thought Canabris was done for, but the gods had other plans. There's quite a blaze over the great garrison. All the vermin running out with their tails between their legs. Who are you? A Vasily Rathmus, former rector of the Canabris Temple of Abadar, now your humble servant. In times like these, one cannot serve the gods of cities while sitting comfortably behind a city wall. You pursue a sacred cause, and I'll help you in any way I can. I await your orders, Commander. Lead us onward to Dresden. How do you end up on the battlefield? Everyone here has a story like that, but mine is a rather boring one. Believe it or not, it was bureaucracy. When the old rector of the Canabris Temple died, may Abadar rest his soul, the church required a replacement, I volunteered, and served for 30 years without incident. I prayed, organized festivals and funerals, bought candles, sanctified water. Boring mundane things like that make up the daily routine of civilized society. But then civilized society failed, and it was time for me to go to war. Praise Abadar, who led me through the ruins to the Defender's heart. Now, who's that boy with you? This one? Gouda the Shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy, and his faith is strong. He serves Aristal though, but there's still something he can learn from an old servant of Abadar. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. Now, what kind of help can I expect from you? First, if you need a scroll with a divine spell, I have a lot of them. Something for every emergency. Second, while you're at the camp, I can read any scroll for you. Guaranteed, no surprises. You better not leave the camp without a cleric. I won't be going with you, so I need someone else who can read scrolls. Well, that will be taken care of here shortly. I have to go. Go. May Abadar protect you. Surprised there's no dialogue between Kyato and Jernov.
We do it my way.
Because they're both, clerics of Aristal. There are fighters here that Her Majesty brought from the capital.
Follow
Too bad they're only
if you
recruits. That's alright. We'll bring them up to speed. Also, you hear Sela laughing in the distance. A group of soldiers is talking loudly, laughing joyfully, and passing around a flask. So picture this. My sword is by the fire. There's 2 goblins about to snatch it, and 3 more are digging through my tent. And I'm sat in the bushes wearing just my mail shirt, wondering what the blast to do. An old mercenary taught me about the mail shirt. You can't sleep in armor, but it's not so bad in mail once you get used to it. Too bad no one told me not to go into the bushes without my sword. So what did you do? What did I do? I barked like crazy. Goblins are afraid of dogs, you know. So they all went wild and started running around. I spot my sword, and they spot me. So I jump over to the fire, wearing nothing but my mail shirt. And I grab my sword, and I yell in my big tough voice. O Inheritor, grant me the power to crush these filthy creatures. My sword's shining, the goblins are screaming. I jump to attack them, and they fight back. But I fought them off somehow. But ever since then, I never take a step without my weapon. Sela takes a sip from the flask. Ha ha ha. That's some story. Hey, stop gulping. Leave some for us. We've only just set off, and you're already drinking. And with the queen in the camp. Stop this at once. The knights quickly snap to attention. Sela raises the flask and says loudly, Right you are, Commander Tirabade. We're but drinking to the queen's health. Yeah, I'm a Sela on this one. I think at the very outset of a campaign or a deployment, that's probably when you want to get, you know, get it out of your system a bit. So take Sela's flask. Give me a sip too. For Her Majesty's health. Aerith rubs her forehead with the palm of her hand. Commander, are you sure this is the right way to train your soldiers? Never mind. It's your business. Gosh darn right it is. Let me also check. So I'm headed slightly towards neutral good, because I've been taking mostly good options, not lawful options. I'm gonna some loot back on the other side.
I'm off.
Oh yeah. Let's go click on Sela one more time, and then we have loot to grab. You do remember that we promised to help Elin search for that ring at the abandoned camp. It's on our way to Dresden. We should have time to drop by.
I do what I must.
Alright, I'm going to call it here. Next time we'll speak to the Queen of the Tent. We'll have one new companion to talk to, a couple NPCs. Every companion should have at least one new line of dialogue about our mythic powers. And then we can set out... I forget which one's closer. I think Social's quest is closest. So we'll head out for that. Or set out for that after the conversations. But either way for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.